Hey, Christy Ruffner here. And listen, we're going to talk about real business right now, okay? I know that for quite a while now I have been promoting my paying ads, and you know what? I don't want to badmouth my paying ads. It has been my freedom program. It's definitely paying me right now $100 a day. It's made a difference in my life. It's changed my life. It's given me opportunities that I didn't have before. And, absolutely, I love the program. And but it's limited. It's limited, and every time they change something on the program, I have to hold my breath to wait and see if the members are going to screw it up or not. And, I hope it lasts for many, many years. I will welcome the income every single day. I'm working towards $200 a day. And honestly, that is life-changing income for anybody. But if you're smart, you are working at building multiple streams so that you're not dependent on just one stream of income. So that if one goes down, you've got other options, okay? And I wanted to share with you a really exciting live video. It is long, okay? But you have to understand that if you want to really get the down and dirty, the meat and potatoes about something, that you're not going to get it in a 3-minute video. You have to sit and really soak in all of what the information has to offer so that you can make an educated decision about what you want to do with your life. And this opportunity is so huge, and what we have is going to just kill it. I mean, we are going to destroy the rest of the industry. We have things that nobody else has. We're doing things that nobody else is doing. They're totally going to get caught with their pants down, and the product is amazing. It truly is amazing. The person behind the company is an amazing human being, and it's definitely worth every ounce of energy that we can put into building this for ourselves and to change other people's lives. And so I just want to encourage you to watch the rest of this and watch it to the very end, and get back to me. Let me know if you have questions, because I will answer them as honestly as I know how, and I want to help change as many people's lives as I can. And if you're willing to step up to the plate and do what you need to do to make that happen, then I will support you. We have the system to support you. There really isn't anything missing from the ingredients except you. You're the only thing that has to show up and do the work. All right? So I'll see you later. I look forward to hearing from you.
Awesome. Can you see that all right? Yep, good. Okay. All right. Hey, how am I coming across, guys? I got a little bit of a delay. Loud and clear. Hey, Wes. Hey, Bart. Karen. Say hello, Karen. Christopher, Steven. Lots of people jumping on. Welcome, everybody. This is awesome. Yes, looks like a few people got my message. That's great. I'm so excited to be doing this live stream, guys. Man, I've got something big prepared for you guys, and got some notes, got multiple monitors. Guys, if you saw this setup here, you would just be blown away. I think Chris has seen it before, and lots of good things going on. Hey, yeah, we're going to be talking about customers. So that being said, I'm really excited. So hopefully my mic is coming across good, and give it a second. Awesome. Hey, Mike, thanks for that personal message today. Hey, Marty, Eric, Chris, you're just right down the street. We got to hook up sometime, right? So love seeing you here. Hey, Sue. Hey, everybody. Renee, love it. Everybody's jumping on. So we're going to talk about real business. Anybody up for talking about real business? So whether you're catching this live or the replay, we're gonna shake the industry. What industry am I talking about? I'm going to get to that in a minute. Well, I'll actually just tell you guys, we're going to shake an entire industry and a vertical. Now, I won't be disclosing what vertical that is on this live stream, or if you're catching the replay. And the reason is because either I invited you to come here and hear this, or someone else did, and I basically want you to private message me or them, whoever invited you, because we are literally going to revolutionize an entire industry, guys. And we're going to talk about real business. We're going to talk about some things that I'm just telling you right now, we are the first ones to do it. And others will follow, right? Others will follow, but they will not be the first. Mark it down, write it down on this date, September 20th, at whatever time you're watching this or whatever day you're watching this. We are going to change the way things are done in direct sales. So I'm ready to talk real business, but here's the thing, guys. Is a business if you don't have customers, right? Think about that for a second. Is a business if you don't have customers, right? And here's the thing. A lot of people in direct sales build a business that's not truly a business, right? We're going to be talking about customers, all right? We're going to be talking about real customer acquisition, and I'm going to be case studying one of my companies. You know, I'm in some interesting niches, and we're in conservative news. We have a survival company. Yes, a survival company. Going to be relaunching our new web storefront on that. We're still selling and everything there, but really excited to be launching the new storefront with that company. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Not because I want you to buy something from it off this stream. The only way you're going to be able to do that is because you're going to go do research or something. But that being said, I'm going to case study some things. Hey, Brad, Richard, Sean, and what was the note, guys? I wasn't catching that. Maybe I said something and I don't even remember what I said. I'm just so excited to be here. Hey, love seeing you guys here. But listen, we're going to do some things that people only dream about. So, true customer acquisition is absolutely critical. So, there's this whole camp that in an industry that, guys, listen, they're really good at recruiting reps. But there's a whole camp that recruits other people and their whole profit machine in direct sales. Think about this for a second. Stick with me. Is they're good at selling other people into an opportunity, right? Now, some would say that I'm good at that, right? But here's the thing, is no business is a real business unless you get customers, right? The bottom line is it's all smoke and mirrors. So I'm going to answer the question right off, and I'll answer it more later. The question that probably begs to be answered, and that is, well, if you're truly good at getting customers, then why would you be in direct sales? And here's the answer, folks, and I want you to draw in and listen very closely. It's called leverage. The reason why is because if you can leverage the efforts of other people in a group of people, then if you have a true customer acquisition system, which we have, and you're going to learn about that here in just a moment, what you truly have is the makings of, imagine people out there being able to leverage something that literally they can share their website, and the website is built to actually convert because it's converted in multiple other niches in the past. and it's converting today in multiple other niches. So it's not theory, it's real world, it's real business, because we do this ourselves in other companies, right? And not in the direct sales space. So my point of bringing that up is hey Joyce, love it, everybody's jumping on. This is awesome. So the point here is, guys, listen, there's a whole camp that's just really good at recruiting salespeople and recruiting people who want to be in an opportunity. But there's a big difference between biz op conversion experts, meaning they're good at converting others into a business opportunity, and customer acquisition. And I want you to think about that for a second. True customer acquisition is a monumental task, isn't it? If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Now don't worry, what I'm going to be showing you, you will not have to learn how to do, you will not have to run it in a back office, you won't have to do any of that part. You won't have to do the technical stuff. That's already done for you, all right? Now, will you need to put in some effort? Yes. And listen, you may be here and you're going, well, I'm not here, I'm just here to learn. Well, great, you're going to learn some killer stuff. And what you're going to learn if you're in a direct sales company is that your direct sales company is not doing this, okay? And it's not to bash a company, it's just to say that most ownership and leadership do not have the foresight, the understanding, or the ability to comprehend this digital age. Comprehend, number one, internet marketing, number two, digital marketing, number three, direct marketing, and number four, content to commerce, where everything is headed online. And so staying ahead of the curve is absolutely critical, and the people in direct sales, in the ownership in direct sales that catch on to that, those are the ones that are going to absolutely crush an industry. And here's what I can tell you, and then I'll get into this training, guys, but I want you to think about this for a second, if my mouse will work. And so I want you to think about this. We're super secretive about what we're doing, because I'm not going to say the actual niche, but or the actual vertical, but that's because we're about to crush an entire industry. We're actually about to crush an entire vertical within direct sales. And it's a vertical, listen to me, that is doing billions right now, all right? And trust me, when I show you what we're doing, and you learn this, all right, you can, and this is stuff you can learn. You're going to learn some stuff here watching this live stream or this replay. So stick with me. No matter what you decide to do, you're going to learn some killer stuff, right? You're going to learn some awesome things. Anybody up for learning something that could, sharpen your axe and maybe get you to the next level? Anybody up for that? Say yes if you are. I'd love it. Awesome engagement, guys. Thank you. So, hey, listen. If you know people, you may want to share this right now, okay? Because what we're about to get into is huge. And I've got some more stuff here. I'll be flipping it over, explaining it all. It's going to blow your mind. But here's the thing, what I just said, though. We're about to crush an entire vertical within direct sales that's doing billions of dollars. Let me make it clear. We're not competing, all right? Because when you see what we're doing, there's no competition. We're going to be the market leader, okay? Mark my words. There will be no competition because we'll just be the market leader. I mean, when you see what we're doing, I mean, it's just like, it's like Stone Age versus the future, all right? So I'm excited about that. It doesn't mean we don't believe in belly-to-belly or direct marketing. We do believe in that because with the right message at the right time to the right market, it's absolute success. That's what direct marketing is, and responsive marketing. And so that being said, I'm pretty excited about this, guys. So let's get into it. Super awesome that everyone's here. So we're talking about customers. Let me pull up my notes and do this. Now, one of my boys may jump in here in a minute or two and say hi, if that's okay. They might run in. So we're broadcasting from my studio in my home, and isn't that cool? Isn't that a novel concept? So, as I get ready to go into this, first let me kind of set the table, because some of you may have never heard of this industry of direct sales and may not even really understand what's going on. And let me just check and make sure. Cool. Looks like everything's working good. All right, cool. Yep. So it looked like one of my screens was froze up, but no, it's not. So someone's having trouble with the broadcast. That looks like that's on your end. So it looks like we're good here because I'm connected with all my networks. All right. So let me just set the table real quick, and then we will get into all the stuff I have here. I mean, a lot of awesome stuff that you're going to learn about. So first of all is, what is direct sales? Well, there is this, what the last basically 100 years has been, in fact, more than 100 years, late 1800s, in early 1900s, we moved into the industrial age model, where, people, what we learned is people work in factories and office buildings and work these 9-to-5 jobs. And we've been taught that, you get into an education system, right, of, elementary, high school, then go on to college and get these educations where you have to pay for these exorbitant fees for education. And then, you end up, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 in college loan debt. You're taught to, get a house, get 2 cars. And basically, think about this for a second. And that whole model is broken, right? And so what I mean by that is we know that 10 years ago, the whole bubble hit, the multiple bubbles hit, and one of the biggest ones was this industrial age model of where you could work at the same job for 20 years, build a retirement, a 401k, and do that. And that completely shattered. Now people don't have 20-year jobs, right? You're looking at moving from career to career, or from job to job to job. And so that model is broken, but it's not just broken from a financial standpoint. I want you to think about something. When you spend more time at a job, when your family spends more time away from you than they are with you, and you spend more time commuting and at your job than you are with your family or with the people that you love and care about, right? That you want to spend time with. That's broken. That's a broken model, right? When we send our family off and we send, our friends and our loved ones, spend more time with people that don't believe like we believe, yet we wonder why they come back and they've taken on this whole entire different world and culture. And it's because, frankly, if you send your family or your friend, your children or your relationships off to Caesar, don't be surprised if they come home as Romans. Don't be surprised if you send them off to an education system in college that brainwashes them that entrepreneurship is, they don't even teach entrepreneurship, but brainwashes them on ideas where they don't go to work and put in a good effort, and that you have to actually work to make money, right? Are all these concepts. But this entire model of the industrial age is broken. And there's a better way. And that better way, if you think pre the industrial age, is a lot of people were entrepreneurial minded. They spent more time with their families. They worked with their families. And it just makes sense. And so there is a better way, and that better way is entrepreneurship. That better way is direct sales. That better way is working from home. And a lot of people believe there's a lot of security in working for an employer. Guys, there's less security in that than the idea that there's security in that is crazy, right? And to think about it like this, can the education system teach you entrepreneurship and business ownership? No, they're diametrically opposed to it because they want to continue to teach the industrial age model so that big machine can continue to churn, okay? So anyway, just kind of setting the table for you. Hey, Mark. Hey, Chris, Sue, Andrew, 2 leased cars, he said. Yep. So anyway, that's it. So, but, J. Paul Getty said this. He said, and great oil man of his day, he said, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts. And what he was talking about was leverage, and this whole idea, and I'm going to get into this, all right? But I want to share one more thought. If you're not able to work after today, let's just say, God forbid, something happened, do you have enough nest egg, or do you have other sources of income coming in that will continue to spit off cash to you whether you're working or not? Right? So think about that, because that's if you in that thought and in that question, if you reply back and say, no, I don't, that's a scary place to be, folks. And that's a place where you need to evaluate. You need to evaluate, because if you're working for the man and you're not creating other streams of income that continue to spit off cash to you, whether you're working or not, think about that. All right? we as adults have a duty and a responsibility to our loved ones to protect from that, right? And so that's a strong thought. And so obviously I wanted to share that with you. So, hey, so we're going to talk about customers, because in any business, without customers, your business withers and dies. And if you're in home business and you don't have customers, you know what you have? You have a pyramid, okay? And a lot of people are really good at recruiting reps, and they're business opportunity conversion experts. But you're not going to find guys that are good at this, right? Now there's a handful of them, but you don't hardly ever see them, because they don't understand this power of leverage, right? So yeah, they don't understand it. So yeah, awesome. Okay, so listen, let's talk about this. So targeting. What do I mean by that? Let me know you guys can see that, and we'll give it a second here. So what am I talking about when I talk about targeting, right? Can you guys see that? It's not reversed on your screen, is it? So here's what we do. We lead in the digital space. You know, there's this whole world of what we call internet. And now many of you will probably go, I really don't know the internet, right? Well, guess what? The internet's been around for a long time, and there's really smart people who can market really well on the internet. But then there's also people who say, well, I really don't know direct response. Well, direct response has been around longer than the internet, right? And then there's also people who say, I don't know social media. Well, guess what? Social media has been around for quite a while, right? But most people haven't figured out how to monetize it for their business. But then now it's all evolved. And now it's evolved to where, you know, basically about 4 years ago, people said content is king, but they didn't even know what they're talking about, right? But how do you get content to convert to commerce? Or more importantly, think about it like this. Online, how do you appeal to your market, their passions, their beliefs, what they core inside believe about themselves, right? How do you produce content in the way of articles and videos like this live stream now or the replay you're catching, where it speaks to their gut? There's not an ad on the page. There's not an ad on the website. How do you do that? Well, let me give you an example. You know, while I'm not going to show my website right here, but I want you to think about something for a second. Just kind of go with me in a thought. So we have this business called Any Disaster, and we market to survivalists, right? So if I were to ask you, who are survivalist-minded people? What kind of people are they? What kind of sites do they frequent? What are the things that they're interested in? What are their political bents, right? What are their beliefs, right? If, type those in right now. I want you guys to type in what you believe survivalist people think, how they think, what they believe in, what they're passionate about, right? Type that in, okay? I want you to type that in as we're talking, because I want to show you something about content and what it can do when leveraged correctly, right? So Joyce said they believe in the Second Amendment. Yes, they do. They're passionate about it, right? They believe that the world's coming after their guns, right? Is that true? What else? They're conservatives. They're preppers. They like guns, Janelle said, right? Yes. Yep. What else? Guns, yes. What else? Guns and ammo, water, extra food. Exactly, extra food, yes. Yes. Survivalist equals nut jobs, automatic weapons. Automatic weapons are illegal in the U.S., so off the grid solutions, yes, yep. And so let's see, protecting their families, good. That's really good. Yep, Kelly. They stock supplies. They're God-fearing. Yes, I'm looking at all these comments. This is awesome. So what if you led with content around like self-stable camping gear? Well, now, Glenn Beck, good. Now you guys are seeing this. Now, you ready? Let me kind of give you a frame of reference here. What if you lead with content to that community, like Florida court says that you can't grow a garden in your yard? What if you report on how someone can't grow a garden, or someone can't stockpile food, or someone is collecting water on their property and the government said they couldn't? Would that content speak to that market, right? The answer is yes, right? What if you report on the Venezuela food shortage? Or as of right now, there is a gas shortage. There is a pipeline burst, right, in parts of the U.S. And there is a gas run on gas stations in certain states right now. What if you report on that? Would you be speaking to that market through their beliefs and their concerns, right? Well, that's what we do with our business. So we lead with their key interest. And so whether it be that gardening, their civil rights, or their constitutional rights, eminent domain, the news, right? And we also appeal to their sense of humor. So we target that. Then we're going to have you ever been to a website where you felt like that website has followed you everywhere online that you've went? Think about that. If you've been to a website where you feel like if you go to my anydisaster.com website, what you're going to find out is after you've been there, I'm going to start following you everywhere you go online and marketing to you our survival guide for $5 that we ship out to you, okay? Man, I wish I could go grab it right now, but I'm all mic'd up. I didn't even think about that. But to show you that, and the point here is that's called retargeting. So we lead with content like that, but listen to this. We target you with paid ads. We target those prospects with paid ads saying we're targeting people who are interested in the Second Amendment. They watch the TV show Doomsday Preppers. They like the NRA. They like Glenn Beck, right? All these things they like self-reliance, right? All these things you were talking about. We put that in our ad targeting just to get them to see an article so that we can retarget them our offer, right? Sounds kind of advanced. Don't worry, you don't need to know how to do it. But then we also say when we target them, we're targeting their purchase behaviors. We know that their online purchase behaviors and their net worth. We know that they spend a lot of money online, and so we say they have to meet that criteria to ever even see our content. Think about that for a second. What if in direct sales business, the people who see your website have to match the key criteria that they're interested in your product or service based off their passion, that they have online purchase behaviors, that they have high online purchase behaviors, that they have a certain net worth, and they have a certain number of credit lines or credit cards. Did you know you can target all of that when you do an ad? Now don't worry, you won't have to do that, not with what vertical we're attacking. I'm doing that for you. And here's the thing, just a little side note, guys. The ownership has agreed for me to do that for you. Okay? I'm doing that for the company-wide. All right? But here's why I want you to think about. Watch this, guys. This is where it gets exciting. Nick said the demographic filters are not available in Canada. Yes, they are, Nick. I'm spending a lot of money, high six figures in ad campaigns, so yes, they are. You just got to get used to it. So step one, here's what we're doing. Take a look at this. We drive people to our website to read our content, right? But then after they've read our content, we run an ad and we show them our offer. And we say, listen, come to our step one page and see our offer. And what we do is we do a micro offer. We say, listen, and we get their name and email. And we say, get our micro offer for $5 or $10. Just pay the shipping and handling. Now I want you to think about something. We already know that they're our target market because we already targeted them correctly. We already know that this page converts at about 18%, where people actually convert over and buy. Okay, 18%. All right. Now, is that standard all the time? No, but that's where our numbers are at right now with our survival business. All right. So stick with me for a second. Is everybody with me? Yes. Andrew said pre-qualified. Crystal said that's insane. So listen. So they come here. They say, hey. I say to them, they've already seen my article on their gardening rights being taken away, and now they're being offered a survival guide. Now, we're not talking about the survival business. We're not talking about that. That's the vertical. That's one of my other companies that's running automated, okay? I'm using that as a case study, right? But think about this. We give them an offer for $9.95 for shipping and handling, right? They pay that. And then look at this. They're immediately when they opt in just to go to the checkout page. They're not even on the checkout page. Watch. This is step one. We get their name and email to go to the checkout page, and then we immediately put them on an email campaign over the next few days just in case they don't buy. Those 18% don't convert, 17% don't convert right off of saying I want the offer. You follow me, guys? Now watch this, okay? And then if you're a rep, you're going to get a notification that they opted in. It's going to come right to your phone, right to your email. And it's going to say, hey, listen, you just got a step 1 lead. Now watch this. They come to step 2. It's a micro checkout page, and it's for the price point, and then they can expedite the order, and they just click purchase. They put their information in, right? Look at all the responses, guys. People are excited, right? Now, let me ask you, and I'm going to keep going. So look, they do that. They buy this product, right? They buy this service. Think about this for a second. And they're in step 2. They buy it. Let me ask you a question. If you've been in direct sales or you've never have, either way, if you had someone that you know matched the target market, right? They have a certain number. They have the ability to buy something because we've targeted them correctly, right? Because we know they have certain number of credit lines, high online purchase behaviors, right? Would you be willing, if they had already put their credit card on file and paid a little bit of money, would you be willing to call them to try and upsell them into the higher offer? I want you to think about that for a second. So they're a buyer, they're qualified, but look at this. Immediately after they buy, watch what happens. They go immediately to step 3 and they're given the bigger offer, the real offer of what the company has. Look at right here. And it's about a 3-minute video. Boom. They click it. And here's all they do. Credit card's already on file. They do 1 click, folks. 1 click. And boom, they just got the real offer for however much it is, right? And listen to this. Let's just say they come to this page. They see this. And about 15% will convert immediately from, listen to this, guys. This is what's killer, right? This is killer stuff. 17% convert here that come to the page, right? Immediately, right after they check out, they're immediately redirected to the upsell real offer, the high-end offer, right? 15% convert here, typically, within my this is case studying within my survival business, right? But we're doing this in a specific niche within the direct sales, all right? And 1 click, boom, real offer. And so now what I want you to think about. If that number is converting, so look at this, guys. Look at all the comments. So here's what I want you to think about. This isn't smoke and mirrors. This is real business stuff, okay? But here's what I want to ask you. Are you willing, if they don't convert, let's just say the 85% who don't convert immediately, because we have credit card on file and we know they're qualified, and you get a sales alert that they just bought at the micro level for that small fee, are you willing to call them and say, hey, I noticed your order, it's on its way, right? You're getting the details soon, you're getting access soon, you're getting the product, right? Think about that. And you go, by the way, I noticed you didn't take us on the upsell, you didn't take us on the main offer. Do you have questions? Would you be afraid, like terrified to be able to call them? No, you shouldn't be, because unlike any ever before in this industry, guys, think about this. Credit card on file, highly targeted, highly qualified. You still have to roll up your sleeves and do some work, but we're talking about revolutionary, guys. Am I right? What do you guys think? Yeah, exactly. So listen, let's see if I hit everything. I think I did. Yeah, I did. So here's the result, guys. So listen, if you've got questions, I've got more paper so I can answer. But I just wanted to hit on all that because here's the thing. You know what? Here's the thing. There's a lot of people, listen, they're good at converting reps into more reps, right? But without customers, your business withers and dies. And I want you to listen about something. Listen, you might be in the vertical we're about to crush, and I know your company's not doing this. And here's what I also know. By the time they figure it out, it'll be too late. All right? Because this is what I've been in the trenches doing for years, right? And here's the other thing about it is it's also about, we talk in we hear a lot of talk about personal development, right? And sharpening our axe. I mean, how many times have we heard that? Think about that for a second. But let me ask you a question, and I do that. I mean, that's important to me. But I want you to think about something else. If you're in business, and you're the CEO of your business, or you're an entrepreneur, why in the world would you not sharpen your axe around the areas of marketing and sales, right? Of customer acquisition? Because leads are the lifeblood of any business. Without customers, your business withers and dies. For the life of me, most business owners, most entrepreneurs don't do that. And the reality is, folks, is this is important stuff. In fact, it's so important that a lot of regulation is coming out. And if you can't drive true customers, you don't have something. I mean, you really don't. But here's what I also know. Because of what we have, here's what I know. The reps will come naturally. Why? Because when you give them a fighting chance to build something where the ownership says, we're behind you, we believe in you, and we want you to build belly to belly, we want you to talk about people, or talk to people, not talk about them, right? Talk to people, and share the story. Use the mobile app. Use the system, right? See, listen to this, folks. People will fail you, right? People will fail you, right? And I will tell you this, though. For every saint, there's a past, and for every sinner, there's a future, right? So understand that when I say people will fail you, every saint, there's a past, and every sinner, there's a future, right? That's good news. But systems, when done correctly, like I just explained to you, won't fail you. The only reason why a system will fail you is because you fail the system, meaning you don't do your job, meaning you don't sharpen your axe and say, well, I'm scared to talk to a customer who just put their credit card on file. I'm scared to follow up with them. Well, get over yourself and, sharpen your axe and increase your skill set, right? Get outside your comfort zone a little bit and get on the phone with them and say, and just acknowledge it. Say, hey, Bobby, listen, I'm kind of nervous following up with you. I kind of get this way on the phone. Is that okay if I mess up a little bit? And you know what Bobby's going to say? She's going to say, you know what, that's totally fine. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. That's what they're going to say. So acknowledge you're nervous. Acknowledge you're scared if that's where you're at. Listen, folks, this public speaking gig, this didn't come naturally. Listen, until I was 15 years old and met the God of the universe, I stuttered in class. I couldn't read in front of the classroom. I got D grades, right? But if you want to, things can change. But you gotta be willing to do it. You gotta be willing to step out of your comfort zone, right? And so, is that making sense? Yeah, wealth is in the system, right? Or you're lazy, right? Reggie said, I'd love to have that problem, right? So listen, Richard says most times we have to cold call, hoping that we have them have them to be able to even talk to, right? I mean, we're not talking about talking to people who are a cold prospect. They're like going, oh, I'm so glad you called, or yes, I did order that, right? They're not going to go, I didn't know I ordered that, right? Think about it. I mean, or I didn't do that, right? I love it. David said you can always get better, right? And Tom said work hard, work twice as hard, and half the results, and you will, just work hard on yourself. Tom's saying, and it's true, folks. A lot of people don't, and but listen, let me just see here if I can get my mouse to work. So listen, this is exciting stuff. I'm really excited that we're doing this here. Hang on, let me. I'm seeing a lot of comments come in. All right. Okay, so any questions that you guys have? So listen, I talked about some strategy stuff, right? You saw that, and you see what we're doing, guys. What this is, think about this as a customer acquisition machine, right? It's done for you. We've done all the work. I'm running it, right? And the company set a budget aside to retarget on your behalf. Think about that for a second. Completely retarget your prospects on your behalf, right? Just because you're a part of the company. because you're a part of the system. Is there cost for the system? Yeah. There's a base cost of the system of $27 to have all those funnels, right? But listen, if you had stuff like that, would that be killer? It would, right? And you can also even pay to play, meaning you can pay monthly on top of the 27 for the company to go out there and have an ad campaign that's managed by me that is helping get you those micro customers. Think about that. Not getting you fake leads or fake solo traffic or fake clicks, but real customers. Think about that for a second. It's a novel concept. So guys, it's huge. And so here's what I would encourage you to do, right? If you want to build a business from home, you want to build a successful business in direct sales, and think about this for a second. Direct sales is the perfect model. You know, it's like a franchise, but without all the upfront costs of hundreds of thousands of dollars, without the overhead, with softwares and systems in the back end, all the accounting done for you. But with this machine that I've just been talking about, right? And here's the deal. What you need to do, if that's you, is you need to get back and private message the person who sent you here, right? And you notice what I've done? I've only talked about the machine, the customer acquisition, the whole area of direct sales. And obviously you have to have a company that's rock solid, ownership that's rock solid, right? You have to have those ingredients. But here's the more important, here's just as important. You ready for it? Let me give you it. I'm going to give you 5 keys for massive success. These are 5 keys that I've really identified in my businesses. You see, because we have a publishing company, we have the survival company, we have this consulting company that that meets quarterly, and those clients pay $15,000 just to meet with me quarterly. Now, don't worry, I'm not asking that of you. In fact, to work with us in this business, it's less than $1,000, right? But you'll learn about that when you private message the person who got with you, right? Reggie says real customers are huge. Rudy says, when's the system available? It's available. So you'll learn more about that once you get in contact with the person that invited you, all right? If it's me, you private message me, all right? So here's the 5 key areas. You ready for them? Say I'm ready. Type that in. So Heather says, I need this in my life. I'll wait for you guys to say you're ready, and here's what I'll say also, is before I give you those 5 keys. You see, here's the thing. Remember I asked you a question, if you couldn't work tomorrow, or your loved one, your significant other couldn't work tomorrow, where would your income come from, right? And I asked you that. And you need to have multiple assets out there spitting off cash to you, whether you're working or not. Because if you just like felt your heart sink of the question I asked, the reality is you need to create streams of income that are working for you, whether you're working or not. You need to work in that business, build that business up. And remember what I said, J. Paul Getty talked about leverage, right? This is called leverage, folks. Imagine people leveraging a system like this, and a group of people that you can help get financial freedom. Think about it. That can leverage this. They have to be willing to work. They have to be willing to follow directions, right? I have a small group of people who recently couldn't follow directions, right? And simple directions. I mean, this is, you know, I've taken all the hard work out. You just have to follow simple directions and do the work, right? But think about an army of people, a small group of people, whether it's 10, 100, 1,000 people who leverage that same system. J. Paul Getty said this. Remember, he said, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts that you can make money off of than 100% of my own efforts. Leverage, folks. Because he knew if he couldn't work, those other 100, those other 1,000 people would be working, and he would be making money from those efforts, right? Some people could say, that's a pyramid. Well, big news for you. If you work for corporate America, you're working in a pyramid. There's the owner, there's the CEO, there's the management, and then there's you. That looks like a pyramid to me. Okay. We still live? Good. Awesome. All right. So, all right. Awesome. Okay. So you ready for the 5 keys, folks? Here they are. So these are 5 key elements I leverage in any business that I'm looking at, right? Is number 1, you need a passionate market of consumers, meaning they are fired up about what they believe in. They're fired up about what it is they're interested in, meaning they're pretty vocal about it. Kind of like my survival business, right? They're a large expanding marketplace, right? Think about it, and that's number 2, large expanding marketplace. For example, in my survival business, there is more and more people becoming aware and concerned about providing and living off the grid and having resources and electricity and all of that, right? So that's a large expanding marketplace, right? And number 3 is you have to have a standout product, a standout offer, meaning head and shoulders completely dwarfs the competition, right? You got to have that. Number 4, you need to have case studies that show a proven track record, meaning history tends to repeat itself, right? Here's another way of putting it. Success leaves clues, right? Kind of like I showed you these funnels. Well, history repeats itself, meaning I've used these in multiple businesses, and I'm using them in multiple businesses. So here's what I can tell you. History tends to repeat itself. Success leaves clues, right? And then number 5, you need upfront and residual income. Remember that leverage part? You need to make money up front on what you're doing in direct sales, but you need to make that residual, whether you're working or not, right? And a lot of people say in direct sales, give me 2 to 5 year run and you'll be set for life. And I'm here to tell you folks that most of those people, they're liars. That's false. Let me tell you why. Because they're teaching you how to go recruit more reps. They don't know anything about customer acquisition. Hey, I'm just being real with you folks and calling it like it is. The point here is listen, this is a big deal, right? If you want to do a 2 to 5 year run, building using funnels and systems that build a true customer base where people can truly leverage, then you got something, right? Then you got something. Then yeah, maybe you could do a 2 to 5 year run, right? If you align yourself with the right people, with the right company. So think about that. So I'm happy to take questions. We're going to be pretty secretive about the vertical we're going after, but I'm outside of that because you'll need to get back with the person who invited you here, right? Zach said corporate's pyramid, insurance is pyramid. Who do you know that's not a pyramid? Exactly. Steven says residual, yes. Laureen says bring on the residual, right? Hey, listen folks, for some of you, this whole idea of working from home and leveraged income and assets spinning off cash you whether you're working or not could just be exploding right now for you, right? Let alone what I just showed you, right? Good news is that's done for you. You just got to be willing to follow directions and do the things that you're instructed to do. But these are concepts. I remember when I was first introduced to these concepts, it was like a light bulb because everything I was taught, listen, now I'm talking with you, if that's you, everything I was taught, I realized that it was broken. I realized there was a better way. And here's the thing I can tell you. The system, 97% of people will never be able to grasp this. And the reality is for a while, your friends and family will actually be diametrically opposed to it. And not because they don't necessarily believe in it, but because it shines a light on the system that they bought into. So my encouragement to you, whether you're just discovering this journey or you've been on the journey for a while, my encouragement to you is don't take that personal, because you're stepping outside the norm of what other people have bought into. At what point, you think about it, at what point did they give up on their dream? At what point did they stop believing it was possible, right? And you are the shining light of saying, I believe it's possible, right? I believe that I could do this, right? And so that's a different concept. I remember years ago when I started doing these things, my family was asking me, so do you get paid twice a week? Twice a month or once a month? How does the money come in? And I'm like, well, money comes in as I make the money. right? And novel concept. And, I wasn't the biggest, I wasn't the life of the party, 10, 12 years ago, right? Now things have changed a little bit since, but the point is that, you can't take that personal, right? It's an exposure process. Listen, for some of you who are brand new or you've been discovered this journey earlier on, is they say in this business, they say it takes 7 to 10 exposures to get someone into your business. Notice we had those things in email sequences and retargeting. We're doing that from a tech perspective. But here's my point. You can't expect family members and loved ones to, if you just got this revelation about leveraged income and multiple assets and working from home and there's a better way, you can't expect others to just automatically understand it like you do, because they haven't heard what you've heard. They haven't watched what you've watched. They haven't seen what you've seen. They haven't read what you've read, right? And so until you've put them on a exposure process and teach them over time and not expect them to just get it by osmosis, well, that's the way it's going to be. Here's what I'll also say. Don't go out there to someone who's bought into the system and get an opinion from them of what they think on this. Go get an opinion. If you're going to get an opinion from someone on what they think about it, about direct sales, is get it from someone who's a business owner, an entrepreneur, who's building businesses, right? That's who you get it from. You don't get it from someone who's bought into the system, right? Who's mortgaged to the hilt, who's in debt to the hilt, who's in student loans to the hilt, and their family's broken, and they're doing the things that they hate to do, and they're spending more time away from the people they love and the things that they love to do than they are spending with, right? So all you are is a bright, shining strobe of light example of what they want. So yeah, there you go. So Zach, awesome. Lorraine says, start catching your dreams. So Richard says, that's why I'm in real estate. That's awesome, Richard. Did you know that direct sales is bigger than real estate? Even in the boom right now this year, direct sales is much bigger than actually real estate. As far as if you're investing in real estate, then that's a different story. But, which I've invested in a lot of real estate. In fact, I've done it for 10 years, and I actually even produced an infomercial and sold it on television on real estate. So I'm right there with you, Richard. Real estate's a great thing to leverage. So, yeah, I believe in real estate as well. Thanks, Dick. Appreciate that. All right. Well, guys, did you learn something? I'm so excited that we got to do this. Lots going on. But listen, here's the deal. We're moving fast, and there's a lot of opportunity on the table right now. There's big opportunity on the table, and what you need to do is you need to message that person that got you here, right? Some of you need to get this shared to some people, and they need to see this, right? They need to see what you just saw. You need to hit that share button and share it with them and say, you've got to see this, right? Because this isn't about me, folks. This is about a system. This is about proven track record, right? And this is also about, look, I'll put it up here. It's about ownership. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is ownership is critical with any direct sales company you're working with. You see, ownership has to have the foresight to adopt strategies like this. Right? Think about that for a second. And the company we're working with, they've adopted it. So that's the point. So let's see here. Guys, I appreciate you coming on. So let's do this. Now's the time to take action. The way you take action is you get back with the person that sent you here, right? You message them. And listen, guys, we're going to crush this industry. We're going to crush this vertical. The word's out. People know what's up, right? They know something big's going on. And I'm excited for you guys because everyone wins. Someone says, well, why the $27 for the system? Because that system runs on killer technology that we have to pay for, right? We're not here. It's not about your $27, right? We're here to make money with you, not from you, okay? Big difference. Did you hear that? Because a lot of people sell systems in this industry, and it's a complete siphoning of people's money, right? And and that's just not what's going to be happening here. This is not, because we're talking about acquiring customers, not for you to acquire a lead. Now, the way that you use that system is it is a lead system, but the point is we're targeting getting customers, right? So it's a big deal. So appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me, and so I will encourage you to get involved with real business, folks, and we got some great things going on. So hey, thanks for coming, and I'm going to close this off, all right? Thank you.